theme is love today. So here we go. So it's lovely, isn't it? Love comes in so many forms and shapes, doesn't it? But what I've learned over the years is about we have to love ourselves. And that isn't easy for some of us. For some, we can give out that love, can't we? But we can't accept it. And this can be for so many reasons that we don't want to go into or go back to. But isn't it lovely when we have that spark within us and we feel loved within? Now, for me today, I was this morning just washing up and wondering, what am I going to talk about today? And the Spirit will put in there that they'd like to talk about guides. And I said, are you sure? And I got a confirmation back. So I want to give today about the love of those who guide us. For those who feel unloved, we've all had that moment where we can't deny that love inside us. And we don't know where it comes from, but yet we feel content. So let's look at that today in conjunction with, is this when we have met those who guide us? And isn't it a beautiful moment for those of you who have met your guides? And this can be in meditation or in other ways in circle, but they want to enhance today that joy and that love they have when we start to acknowledge them and we start to accept them. We go through that doubt system. Is it our minds? Surely it can't be. And yet there they are. And as we know, they come in so many guises for us, don't they? We have North American Indians, native Indians, we have nuns. And of course they come through because we will accept them like this. Our knowledge is that they may just be Joe Public. They may be our family members, but they come through so that we will accept them. And I have proof of this because my daughter joined our circles and was developing. And she was most upset that she just got a plain old gentleman. There was no Indian, no North American. And this upset her. Why have I just ended up with this old gentleman? Well, that's because you're spiritually aware, Em, and you don't need them to bring through that guise because it shows that they're there. And we're taught also, aren't we, that eventually, once we accept them, we may no longer see them because this takes them energy they could use elsewhere for us because we accept. Yes, we all have that calling card from them. We know when they're around us. So of course, during our development, they take these things away. How many of us today have been comfortable where we're at and how we work, and suddenly it changes? And it makes us uncertain. Why have they taken this away, we say? And we get a voice back saying, because you don't need it. You've now moved on to the next level. So talking of love today, the love that we have for those who guide us. And they're very patient, aren't they? For us who moan and who doubt, you think they would say, I'm not working with that person anymore. Can I have another participant? And yet they don't. There they are, always guiding us, taking us forward, helping us to be the best that we can, and even letting us go off our pathway, maybe taking that direction because we have free will. And yet, if that pathway doesn't work out, there's no judgment. They just pick up where we left off. So that is the true love of why we're here today. And of course, what we're doing is based on love. It's based on love and upliftment. And isn't it lovely that they come back? Maybe we get told off sometimes in our communication, but it's always done, isn't it? That we can take it humorously because they're showing that's how we were. We may get communicators back who were tough on the earth plane and perhaps we didn't like very much. And yet, here they are, and they've had chance to evolve themselves, and they come back lighter. And it may be hard for us to accept that they wasn't like that when they were here. But isn't it lovely that we all evolve? We all go on. We all have that chance to review what we've done whilst being in this spirit vehicle, this spirit body. And we all have a chance to reflect on what we could have done better and who we've offended and how people have offended us. So we've got so much to do when we return home. It's not just the fluffy clouds that my wife believes it is, but that's lovely that she says that. But we've got work to do. We've got to evolve. We may go on to guide others if we choose. And for some of you who want to come back, we're led to believe that there is that option, but it's our free will. We decide. I personally don't want to come back because I don't like the feeling of leaving, knowing I'm going to the earth, but arriving on earth and not knowing who I am, if that makes sense to you all. Yes, I may come back rich or I may come back poor, but for me, it's important to know. And as we know, new life, new beginning. I don't like that thought. So for those of you who are prepared to, I salute you. But I want to continue on evolving once I've returned home. And it's also today, as we talk about that love, it's about remembering who has accompanied us on our journey on the earth plane. And it's called A Reading of the Train. And it talks about that we've lost people. We may have lost our parents and those we love. And it's about our journey and who we meet and where they play a part in our lives. Because as we know, they come in for a reason, a season or a lifetime. And it's reflecting and learning on those people that have only come in for that season. They may have come in to teach us part of our life's lesson. It may be hard that they come in, or for some of us, it might have been joy and we miss their presence. But we have to remember that they've moved on because they're on their spiritual journey. They're moving on to help with others evolve. And of course, we help each and every one of us evolve by coming into our lives. So it's remembering today those people, and perhaps those people have come in and we didn't resonate with them. And in a way, perhaps we're glad that they've then gone out of our lives. But we look back and we feel stronger. We've learned a lesson. And isn't that amazing that they were there to teach us perhaps humanity, to teach us that we can send love out. We can send the healing energy out, to be the bigger and better person, not to stoop to some people's levels. And this is only because they haven't awoken. They haven't experienced this, what we call love today. And isn't it lovely that we come in and we found this love and that life is eternal? And yes, we may never know the whole of what goes on when we return home, but isn't it lovely what we know? And we can't deny within our hearts how we feel when we join together today and we unite as one. We can not deny those feelings, can we? Those feelings of a sense of well-being and a sense of belonging. And of course, those who haven't got that sense of belonging, we know it's within them because we all have that God particle. We're all God's children. And however we find faith, I believe we all go home to the one source. And isn't that lovely that we all have been given that choice to make to find our God? But we have that lovely insight that we can communicate with our loved ones. We can communicate with this wondrous world. And what we've had channeled back about, it's always blazed in sunlight and daylight. There is no time. And it's beautiful that we know that our loved ones go home perhaps in pain and they come back with proof that they're healed. They are who they want to be. For sometimes as a medium, it's hard because they come back young and perhaps mischievous, and the recipient doesn't recognize them because they remember them as perhaps old and frail. But that shows that we still have free will. We will come back as we want to be. And we have a medium in England who is, she's a lovely lady, but she's coming back, don't quote me, with a blonde hair and slim and red stiletto shoes. And I said to her, how are we going to know it's Eugene? You will, mate, she said. But it does make us see that that could throw us, couldn't it? Because that's not how we recognize our gene. So she has to bring that proof that it's her. So as we wrap up today, remember, be proud, be beautiful, be limitless, and we are wonderful. And whatever we do, and wherever we're at, we make a difference to the spirit world and to those who guide us. We are here for a purpose, even if that purpose only is to smile and say hello. Thank you for listening.